Well, guess I have to speedrun a horror game. So the YouTuber SwankyBox challenged me to speedrun his game, Zardy's Maze. And I hate horror games, but I couldn't let his disrespect go further, so here we go. But before we get into that, I'm gonna explain a little bit about the game. Basically, it's pretty similar to Baldi's Basics. You run around, you have a few different objectives you have to get, and then you leave. And the things that stop you are the 5 different enemies. Ground pumpkins basically grab onto your foot and then make you slower. You have to beat them with a stick to get them off you, and when you do, they scream and alert all other enemies. Zardy's the guy who walks around really slow, and you can kill him by shining your flashlight at him. Pumpkin Jack can jump over the corn maze, and you can't actually kill him. You have to stun him with your flashlight and then kind of just escape. Cable Crow is definitely the hardest one of the bunch. He goes around on his cables. He's very fast and he can just kind of murder you. And the brutes are the creatures that go around the objectives. They're confined to that little area though, so they aren't the hardest ones in the world. But with all that out of the way, we can actually get started with the run. The run timer is going to start as soon as we load into the game. We get our flashlight and our hatchet, and then we get going. And you might notice this is actually a video where I'm doing a post commentary. The reason behind that is because this game, a lot of it is RNG. The maze you get is completely luck-based. The flowers and your objectives are always going to be generally in the same place, but the maze you go into, it's going to be different, so I didn't want to just try to do a commentary during and have to repeat myself over and over again. So yeah, here's the objective. What we have to do is we have to hit these flowers. You have to hit them 3 times, and there are 3 of those total. The first one is always going to be closer to you and to the right. The next one is going to be a little bit farther away if you just go straight from there, and the last flower is going to be farther away and to the left. Then all that's left is getting the exit, but we'll see that when we actually get to it. Now, the general strategy of the game, as you've seen me do there, is basically you're going to want to use the path as much as possible, but sometimes the maze isn't going to be in the best position, so what we do is jump and see if we can get through the corn maze. If you stay in the corn for too long, you'll black out and basically just die to Zardy, so we don't want to stay in there too long, but you can make short little treks over, and a lot of the time that will really help you save time. Another thing that we're doing throughout the run is jumping a lot. Also, hey Zardy, this is kind of an awkward place to see you, but the basic idea behind jumping a lot is we don't want to hit the ground pumpkins like we did right there, but if you jump a lot, there's a much less chance for that to happen. And wow, that was 2 in a row. That is kind of sad. I actually forgot about that. But jumping around really helps with just making sure that nothing bad happens. Also, something I haven't mentioned yet, which you might have noticed, yeah, there are a lot of big vines that are just sprouting from the entire field. I don't understand this person's mentality and why they just haven't left the cornfield yet, but I guess they're going. They're really determined to get all these flowers. You can see I just found my last flower, and I was actually really impressed because I didn't see that before. I was just kind of randomly going through because it does get a lot harder to see things, and we're getting to the last little area. I know the light is right over there. I'm really scared that something's just going to pop out and kill me, but I know that if I just make it to this light, if I make it to the exit, then we will finish the run. My heart was actually pounding right there because a lot of my really good runs have died here just because of random enemies. But there we go. We finished, and I finally have a speedrun I'm satisfied with. So yeah, a nice little world record, right? Well, no. Because when I was playing this game, I was actually playing it with my friend Purple Hair Guy. We were kind of switching back and forth between us, watching the other person, you know, just having a good time. And 45 minutes before I got my time, he got this run. And for the life of me, I wasn't able to beat it. So here this is. Now the funny story about this run is that he actually started it when I was in the bathroom, so I actually haven't seen all of this. The only bit that I've actually seen is the ending, but now looking back at it, you can, okay, that was actually pretty nice, I'm not gonna lie. That was a good move right there, but I really think, and what he said was he just got some of the best RNG. And I'm actually pretty excited to see it because I was saving watching this video so I could watch it directly with you guys because I was just in the bathroom. I decided to use the bathroom at literally the worst point. But I can see what he's doing. He's using the vines really good to his advantage, and he's not really worrying about anything. This is really what you got to do with Zardy's Maze. You just got to go if you want to get a good time. You have to basically not be scared about any of the enemies. The nice thing about this game is the jump scares are a little scary at first, but then you play them over and over again and kind of just get used to them, and they become a lot less scary and more just whatever, that's just a way to die. So you kind of just get that out of your head, and your only objective is to complete the game. Now here's where I believe I finally came back from the bathroom right near the end. So I saw him and I was like, wow, this is a really good run. And he was like, yeah, I got really good RNG, this is the last flower I need. But then there, when he's in the maze, he gets caught by a ground pumpkin, which almost kills him. You can see he was so close to blacking out, but thankfully he got right through. And normally it's not too much of an issue, but it definitely is something very scary. And finally, the only thing he had to do was make it back to the blue light. That is the only thing standing between him and world record. He checks, makes sure he can go through this maze, and he is almost there. And yeah, this is where I lose my world record. You see Zardy, it doesn't even matter. He made it to the blue light, and it's over. There goes my free world record.